start. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. The privilege of this event was made possible and preserved by those who have fought and those who continue to fight for the freedoms we enjoy. Let us now honor and respect their efforts and sacrifices. All veterans, we encourage you to render the appropriate salute, and everyone else, please place your hand over your heart as we proudly sing our national anthem.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Charles Strail along with Christian Swinsicki here, getting things ready to go between the Gladiators and the Elk Rapids Elks in a Lake Michigan Conference clash. First place is on the line tonight as we get ready for this one. Get settled in wherever you're tuning in from. Thanks for making us a part of your Friday night. This should be a great matchup between these two teams battling it out for first place. Gladiators come in with only one conference loss in the Lake Michigan Conference. The Elks with two conference losses. One of those losses came to the hands of the St. Francis Gladiators. We were at that game, Christian, and that was certainly an action-packed game. I think the Elks have been playing some really good basketball so far. 5 starters for Elk Rapids: Owen Spencer, Christian Kerfoot, Noah Hilly, Haven Summers, and Zeke Boldy. Starting for the Gladiators will be Max Ogden, Junior Harrison Shepard, Eli Bigger, Isaiah Millward, and Chris Bobrowski. So the Gladiators sticking with that lineup change that they made a couple of weeks ago. We want to welcome everyone in here on the Cherry Capital Airport Hat pregame show. It certainly should be a high-flying affair tonight, and as it is a high-flying affair, we want to remind everyone that when you're looking to travel from TVC Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport, reminding you that when you're trying to get out of the sun or try to get to the sun and the winter snow might be bringing you down just a tad, you want to get out, use Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport to do so. And I would imagine these two teams have had their pregame conferences in the halftime, or excuse me, not in the halftime, but in the downstairs locker rooms. Christian Swinsicki, what do you anticipate seeing here for this game?
I mean, I'm anticipating seeing a lot more of what we saw in the first meeting between these two teams. First time we saw these two, Max Ogden was a big factor for the Glads, as well as Harrison Shepard. But Max Ogden, who I think in our first meeting here, he had 18 points to start for the Gladiators. He led the team. As both teams, Charles, they come in today on a three-game win streak. Elk Rapids having a couple of solid and quality wins over the likes of Charlevoix, Kalkaska, and Grayling.
As we begin this game, Haven Summers for the Elk Rapids Elks actually took 2 free throws because the Gladiators were called for a technical foul in warm-ups, trying to dunk the basketball during the warm-up. So that's a technical foul. We're underway here as Elks start with the opening position. Haven Summers guarded by Harrison Shepard. We're courtside here, and we welcome you in to Traverse City St. Francis High School. Elks and Gladiators underway right here on Next Level Broadcasting. It'll be A man-to-man defensive look here early on for the Gladiators. Dribble handoff, exchanges up top for the Elks. Kerfoot, oh man, nice
Good
shot.
finger
Actually, that
roll.
was Owen Spencer who had a nifty finish there at the rim for the opening points of the contest. He did a good job of finishing through some contact there to drop that one in for the opening basket of the game.
Charles, that was a good finger roll, good little pick and roll action. He got to the basket, had his man on his left hip as he put in a good little layup. Good pace to start off this game.
Harrison Shepard dribbling into the high post. Max Ogden driving baseline. Little leaner is good. He got the friendly roll as Ogden is in the books. Ogden was the cog in the engine that the Gladiators needed to get the win earlier on this season in Elk Rapids. Christian, what do you anticipate seeing from him tonight?
I mean, I'm anticipating seeing a lot of the same from Ogden. He's a good low post kind of banger. You get him down, he can play physical, he could take the contact, he's going to put that ball in the basket just like he did with them first 2 points for the Gladiators. Ogden has been a consistent part as we have a turnover here against the
Gladiators.
Against the Gladiators, sorry.
6 minutes, 28 seconds left in the first quarter. We're working on getting our clock feature going on the stream output here. 2-2 with 6:28 remaining, just over a minute and a half into the first quarter. Still only one foul against the Gladiators. One turnover for the Gladiators, 2 for Spencer for the Elks, 2 for Ogden for the Glads.
I would like to see the Gladiators getting down back into the post, showing that physicality that I think that they're very capable of putting up with.
Isaiah Millward secures that offensive rebound, and Max Ogden tees up a triple. And, man, when he gets a chance to set his feet, he's dynamite from beyond the arc. He's got all 5 points for the Gladiators to start.
I know I did just say Ogden is one of them good low-post banger kind of guys, but he reminds me of like a Julius Randle where he can spread out to the three-point line and pop that shot.
And credit to Isaiah Millward. He set that up with that offensive rebound.
Good open shot here.
No good.
For Hilly.
Haven Summers controls the defensive board. Swung around to Owen Spencer. He'll drive against Millward, no good. He gets his own foul, put back, count it, and the foul. So Owen Spencer doing the heavy lifting so far for the Elks. Christian, what'd you see there on that play that you liked?
Well, I saw Owen Spencer. He heard my comments of saying that Ogden's one of them low-post bangers, and Spencer putting up a basket, getting his own offensive rebound, and getting the and one, the old traditional three-point play as opposed to Ogden's three-point shot.
Free throw no good for Owen Spencer. Isaiah Millward secures the defensive rebound.
And Shepard pushing it up.
Yeah, Gladiators working around the perimeter here. Inside to Millward, no good. Turnover by the Glads. That's their second turnover.
A lot of contact down in the low post.
Ogden
Turnover.
with the thievery at midcourt. Sliding up, counted and a foul. Ogden with the chance for 3. He's got all 7 for the Glads with a chance to make it 8. And he's coming out swinging.
I told you last time we saw Ogden, he had 18, and I think at that point that was his season low. I would imagine Ogden's going to come out and lay the wood. Ogden's free throw attempt is good. Pushes his total to 8, 8-4 game here.
Yeah, he's got all 8 for the Glads. Big time start for him to get on the ground running. Three-pointer from the corner, no good for Kerfoot. Controlled on the tap out by the Elks. Havers breaking down. Spencer loses it. And it's controlled by the Gladiators.
Good hustle there by the Glads.
A lot of contact over here on the sideline. Looks like some feet got tangled up.
Yeah, they're letting them play a little physical down there. They are calling some fouls here, but down in the low post, they're getting in there.
And a lot of contact. Millward on the deck with it, trying to find it, and it's stolen away by Hilly. Noah Hilly, the junior, now with it for the Elks. Haven Summers working against Harrison Shepard. Just about 4 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter. A little baseline cut by Hilly, catches it on the post, back up to Kerfoot. Sliding move, no good. Offensive rebound tapped around, controlled by Ogden and the Gladiators. One and done so far for the Elks on offense. Ogden with a heat check, going to let it go. No good. Kerfoot secures the board, man. If he would have hit that, the roof would have went off.
If he would have hit that, the student section to our right would have just came off, unglued.
So Elks dodge a bullet there with the miss by Ogden.
I would like to see some more patience out of the Elks right now. They're getting good looks.
Yeah.
They're just hurrying their shots. It just doesn't look like they're going through their whole shooting motion.
Owen Spencer driving baseline, puts his shoulder down into Eli Bigger.
There you go.
Little shot fake, 15-foot J by Shockley, no good. Foul called against the Elks.
Shockley had a wide open baseline mid-range jumper. Those are the ones you would like to have back. I imagine you give him a second shot at that same spot, he's going to drain that.
So Owen Spencer with all 4 points so far for the Elks goes back to the free throw line for a chance to make it 5 and 6 to his total. First free throw is no good. He's 0 for 2 from the free throw line.
These are I think the first time we saw these two teams meet, the Elks left a lot of points at the free throw line. And it's already a lot more of the same here in the early onset of this game. Second attempt is good for Spencer. He's got all 5 for the Elks. Right now, this game only has 2 scorers. This is just a one-on-one.
Yeah, it's a one-on-one right now. Owen Spencer with 5, Max Ogden with 8. Just how we thought it would go, right?
Yeah, that's about as well as it is, yeah. Ogden with 8. The Gladiators have 8.
Harrison Shepard working against Cotterman, who just recently checked in. Little turnaround, 1-foot fadeaway, no good. Inside scrum for it is controlled by Bargy, who also just checked in for the Elks. Quick pass up the floor to Haven Summers. He's met by 2 Gladiators, and that's going to be another turnover on the Elks.
Elks with a plethora of turnovers. Charles, I haven't even been able to keep track of how many. We've seen both teams playing fast and aggressive to start this first quarter up.
Well, you can feel the intensity in this gymnasium right now, Christian.
Oh, I know when we were in Elk Rapids for the first game, that was also intense.
Oh, it certainly was, as the Glads break the press. Open jump shot for Eli Bigger is good from just beyond the free throw line, and he's got the first 2 points for himself in the scoring column as the Glads make it a handful lead. Almost stolen away by Bigger, crossed over by Summers, driving in, scoop layup, man, that was nice.
Oh, that was a good Euro step by Haven Summers.
Yeah, when Eli Bigger went for that steal, it kind of opened up that driving lane. All Summers had to do was make one crossover to the Euro step finish. Pretty finish using the right hand on the left side of the backboard to get that one to fall in. 10-7 now, 2 minutes, 25 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Glad slowing up the pace here to start this possession.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to bring this game back to their pace as Haven Summers steals it and is fouled by Chris Bobrowski. That will be the 4th team foul against the Gladiators. So for all the people that have tuned in, watched the Gladiators earlier on this season, they know that the Glads have a tendency to get into foul trouble. With 4 team fouls so far, the next team foul will put the Elks to the free throw line, and that is already the 2nd personal foul against starter Chris Bobrowski for the Gladiators. Checking in for the Gladiators is Max King and number 21, Luke Gorman. Also is Isaac Kerr checking in as well.
Both teams kind of slowing down the pace. They both came out with a lot of adrenaline, a lot of angst to start this game off, but they've now settled in after about 6 minutes of play.
That's right, as both teams kind of going to their bench players here with 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining in the first period of play. Haven Summers looking to drive baseline, shut off by Kerr, and open three-pointer for Cotterman is nothing but net. Nice play by Summers setting up Cotterman there.
That was smooth by Cotterman.
That was his first shot attempt of the game, and it looked like butter. He was ready for that one.
Tie ball game here after a hot, fast start between Ogden and Spencer once the bench players come in.
Yeah, as Ogden and Shepard, the only 2 starters out there on the floor for the Gladiators. Summers and Hilly, the only starters out there for the Elks. So we've got 6 reserve players out there, as that one was tried to be thrown off of Luke Gorman, but before the attempt, Noah Hilly had his foot on the sideline.
Yeah, Noah Hilly showing great effort to get to that ball. Unfortunately, when he got to it, he was out of bounds.
And Hilly with great hands there deflecting that one out of bounds. Harrison Shepard tried to sneak one into Max Ogden, but good defense right here on the sideline by Noah Hilly.
Noah Hilly showing some good sideline defense here, doing a little bit of prevent right at the line.
That one looks like it's thrown away. As Isaac Kerr tried to save it, that could have been a dangerous play. He almost took out the Gatorade cooler over there for the Elks.
Took out the Gatorade cooler and almost the rest of the first row.
That could be a strategy, if you want to dehydrate your opponent, just wipe out their Gatorade cooler.
I've seen it done. It's a dirty tactic, but it's one that can be utilized.
As just checking in for the Gladiators is J.P. Miller, senior number 2. He'll replace Harrison Shepard. 10-10 game, 1 minute left to play. Cotterman drives baseline. Bargy now with it out in the corner. Hilly working, handoff to Cotterman. Bargy trying to get a little post-touch entry, being denied by Kerr. Back cut by Max Ward. Open three-pointer by Hilly in the corner, just short. King secures the defensive board for the Gladiators.
Student section looking for a way to pump up their team and really get themselves injected into this game.
As we got a jump ball in between Cotterman and Kerr. Possession arrow favors the Gladiators. Back in for the Elks is Christian Kerfoot. He'll replace Haven Summers. So all players so far have gotten a breather except for Max Ogden.
I mean, when your best player is going against bench guys, you're going to try and utilize him, maybe find a mismatch. And
so we'll have to monitor the minute load here tonight for Max Ogden, already playing a total of 7.5 minutes with 30 seconds remaining. J.P. Miller now being guarded by Noah Hilly. Looks like Gladiators are going to hold for the last shot of the quarter here.
Elk Rapids showing some good zone defense here. A lot of good switching between the Elks.
And inside it goes to Isaac Kerr. And the Gladiators drain a lot of time off the clock on that possession. Elks down by 2, 4 seconds left. Cotterman puts it up at the buzzer. Looks good, and he hit it. Cotterman buried it right in front of the student section, and that's how we end the first quarter of play. Keegan Cotterman lighting it up from deep. He's got 2 triples in the first quarter.
He even said something to the student section when he saw that go in.
It looked good. We were right in the path of trajectory as we saw that leave Cotterman's fingertips, and it looked good from the moment he let it go. And nothing but net. He's 2 for 2 from deep. We're going to go ahead and step aside here from our friends at the Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport and a couple of other sponsors. We'll be back in 45 seconds. This is high school basketball on Next Level Broadcasting.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport, TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
To Culver Meadows, Traverse City's premier family-owned senior living community specializing in dementia care. Here at Culver Meadows, we cultivate the perfect environment for your loved ones by combining our setting, scenery, and social interaction of our residents. We pride ourselves at being an extension of your own family here at Culver Meadows. Call 231-633-9430.
And the Gladiators, Noah Hilly with it.
The first meeting between these two teams, Charles, the Glads got out to an early lead and they never looked back. The Elks showing a lot more heart and pace here in this first quarter as a good layup off the glass.
Well, it helps when Cotterman comes off the bench and gives you 8 points. He's got 2 triples and a nice little runner right there.
All these points by Cotterman are big, too. Those are impactful shots.
Well, you got 5 for Spencer, 8 for Cotterman, who's 3 for 3 from the field. As 15-footer's good by Luke Gorman. So it's back to a 1-point game, 14-15. Elks up by 1.
Good open shot by Gorman, taking that mid-range puller. Blocking foul from the Glads here. I believe that was number 2, J.P. Miller.
Yeah, so that's the first against J.P. Miller, first team foul in the second quarter. Noah Hilly guarded by Max King, gets a high screen from Cotterman. Dribble hand off to Kerfoot. Kerfoot had an open man on Max Ward on the baseline, but unable to find him. Ward's going to tee it up from deep, it's just off the rim, rebounded by Max Ogden. And the Gladiators coming back with it. Max Ward applying that some heavy defensive pressure on Max Ogden.
Ooh, good flash of the hands there by Kerfoot. Glad's keeping to this slower pace that they switched to at the second half of the first quarter. Good
Keegan
block
Cotterman.
shot there by Cotterman. He's all over the place here.
And J.P. Miller drains it from deep. Yeah, Keegan Cotterman got that block, but the Glads got the three. Cotterman's looking to drive.
Oh, foul there.
Yeah, he got fouled hard. That's going to go against Isaac Kerr, I believe.
That looked like J.P. Miller to me, I believe. That looked like he was coming in on some help defense.
And that's going to be his second personal foul.
Yeah, that was a hard one.
So that's his second personal foul in actually the last two possessions. So
he's already on the look for foul trouble here. And he's not the only one, because Bobrowski's also got 2 fouls here in the early goings of this game.
Max Ward to inbound, finds Bargy, who catches at the free throw line extended on the elbow. Noah Hilly, dribble handoff on the perimeter. Max Ward now back to Hilly. A little floater in the lane, bounces around, no good, tapped out of bounds. It'll be
Elks ball.
Yep, Elks going to retain that possession there. Owen Spencer checking back in, replacing Bargy.
I'm liking the defense and the hustles from both teams here. Both teams not willing to give each other an inch, and both are playing very physical. This has been a physical game,
And I
even
like
though there's a lot of scoring.
The officials allowing these two teams to play with that physicality as that pass was deflected out of bounds by Luke Gorman. Luke Gorman been giving the Glad some good minutes here off the bench.
You expect these two teams to play physical, though, because they are 1 and 2 in the division. And both are coming on that 3-game win streak, as we mentioned in the pregame show.
There's a almost steal by Michael Bohr, as he has just checked into the game for the Gladiators. So far the Gladiators, Christian, have played 10 players. And in a game as physical and as intense as this, I think that's a wise strategy to play, pretty much every player you've got.
Well, when you're playing physical, you're going to be exerting a lot of energy, and it's certainly going to be beneficial if you have a deep bench.
I should say 11 players, as the Glads have just brought in Tommy Donahue, the 11th Gladiator, to enter the game tonight.
They must have knew that they were expecting to play a physical game, especially after how the first meeting went, where the Glads went into Elk Rapids territory and handled them.
Well, Elk Rapids, a fairly small rotation, about 8 players. The Glads playing 11 so far, as Michael Bohr takes the deep step back and drops it in. Man, he came off the bench ready to roll tonight.
Man, that was a good step back by Michael Bohr.
Open three-pointer for Kerfoot is in. Nice answer for Christian Kerfoot, and the Elks are back within 2. So both teams starting to find their rhythm so far, it seems like.
Both are shooting at a high clip. Both are shooting as if everyone has a green light, as a good little hook shot there by Bohr. He's making his presence known in this game.
Yeah, Bohr with the last 5 points for the Gladiators. 5 off the bench for number 14 in white, as Noah Hilly passes off. Cotterman leaves the ground to make a pass, has it stolen by the Gladiators. Michael Bohr leading the break. Kick back pass to Harrison Shepard. Shepard being guarded by Haven Summers.
Charles, you mentioned that Ogden played every minute of that first quarter. He hasn't stepped foot in this second quarter.
Yeah. So we'll see what's going on there. I would imagine that this is just scripted time, and this bench unit's been really giving the Glads some good punch.
I would imagine that they're going to leave Ogden there until this starts to fall apart.
And
but as of now, the Gladiators.
Just as that happened, Luke Gorman with a nice little head fake, put one dribble down, got to his spot, and he drew the foul on Owen Spencer. So Luke Gorman will go to the free throw line. This will be the second and third free throw attempts of the game for the Gladiators. First shot up and a little bit too strong.
A couple of substitutions in here as number 4, Isaiah Millward, comes in for the Glads.
Second free throw for Gorman is good. So Luke Gorman checks out. He's got 4 points so far, or 3 points. As he checks out, as we've got a timeout taken, and we're going to take a quick 30-second timeout as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this. And here we are, welcome back in. Shout out to Green Mint Car Wash. If you're driving through the snow and sleet and dirt this winter, check out Green Mint Car Wash to have that prized vehicle of yours scrubbed up nicely at Green Mint Luxury Spa and Car Wash. Haven Summers now with 4 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Elks looking to bring this back to a one-score game with a made basket. Kerfoot back in the corner. Summers driving baseline, leaves it inside. Elks working it around the perimeter now. Summers with the 3, no good.
That was great defense by the Glads on that possession. Good switching, good rotation, and Harrison Shepard was getting to the man on the three-point line on almost every pass.
Yeah, he was doing excellent to close out to those shooters. Elks had a really good possession there, moving it from side to side multiple times.
They did, yeah. The Glads were in. Harrison Shepard, along with the rest of the Gladiators defense, they were able to show up that they could close out and get to those open men.
So
right
a couple weeks ago, the Glads had a problem over-helping. Tonight, doing a much better job of staying connected defensively. Isaiah Millward has it stolen away by Spencer, and a turnover for the Gladiators. Elks in a hurry coming back. Wow, I mean, Shepard's all over the floor defensively right now, Christian.
Gladiators defense is looking really good right now.
There's a foul called against Michael Bohr. That'll be the team's his first personal foul.
Ogden's still on the bench for the Glads as well. You're right, Charles, that must be scripted that he is going to play that first quarter and maybe sit out a majority of the second quarter.
As he's coming into the scorer's table to check back in. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the first half. Good little cut, but stolen away, tipped away by Donahue. Shepard picks it up, 3-on-1 break for the Glads. Michael Bohr finishes it, and Bohr has 7 points off the bench for the Gladiators. Kerfoot now hurrying the pace, and that will be the 4th team foul against the Gladiators. So the Elks on the next foul will shoot double bonus free throws, Christian.
Aside from Spencer from the Elks and Ogden for the Glads, this game has been mostly bench players. Both teams' benches are showing out this evening.
Well, Cotterman coming off the bench, he has 8 points. Bohr off the bench with 7 points. So it's been a bench showcase as Spencer, starter for leading the way, as Noah Hilly lets one go. No good. Harrison Shepard climbs the ladder to secure that board.
That was good defense by Bohr. He got up in the shooter's face and didn't let an easy one.
Ogden in transition, no good. Owen Spencer controls the rebound for Elk Rapids. Oh, transition 3, no good. Bohr with the board. That might have been a hurried shot for the Elks there, Christian.
There was a couple of 2 straight in a row, right, hurried shot on both ends. Ogden had a quick layup and then an early 3 right there. Now Ogden slowing the pace down, getting the offense set and getting the ball in the hands of Shepard.
4 of the 5 starters on the floor again for the Gladiators. For the Elks, they have all 5 starters on the floor. Inside it goes, baseline jump shot for Bigger, no good. Millward cleans it up and puts it in. And that is Millward's first points of the contest.
Millward with the big boy basket, getting that offensive rebound and then the putback.
Now a 9-point advantage for the Gladiators. Haven Summers drop down pass to Brendan Shockley. He's fouled. He gets it to go. So another nice assist by Haven Summers, setting up a teammate on a silver platter. Brendan Shockley going to the free throw line for his first free throw attempts of the game. Also, his first points of the game coming on that made basket.
For the Elks, they really have to just do the simple things of hitting these free throws, because if they're hitting at least 50% of these free throws, this is still going to be a 4-point game.
So last Friday night, Elk Rapids beat Charlevoix because they made their free throws in the second half. Only missed one free throw the whole second half. And they are missing them here tonight as Shockley no good at the free throw line. It's still a 7-point game. Gladiators up with 2 minutes and 3 seconds left to go. But Christian, the free throw disparity right now, the Elks are getting to the free throw line more so than the Gladiators, but just unable to pay it off.
One of the things I do want to say is the Elks are getting into the lane and driving to the basket, getting that contact a lot more frequently than the Glads are. The Glads are getting some good mid-range shots that they're taking and hitting. As
there's a nice
here.
Play stolen by Jaden Fresco. He'll take it coast to coast, so he got the thievery and the basket, and it's back to a 5-point advantage for the Gladiators.
It's one-man offense, isn't it?
Yeah, hey, he did a good job of making his own breaks there. Fresco, nice pass inside to Millward, set up nicely by Harrison Shepard with a nice little pocket pass.
Those mid-range shots set up that pass because the Glads have been taking that mid-range shot, that open mid-range shot, as we have another turnover here and a lay-in for Shepard.
Man, that's 4 quick points there, and Elk Rapids going to have to try and do some damage control here. Haven Summers working all the way down, stop, pop at the key, worked around to Fresco, three-pointer short. Millward skies for the defensive rebound.
He went up high for that one.
You just saw that right forearm just continuing to go up in the sky. 50 seconds now. Ogden takes the free throw line jump shot, gets the parishioner bounce off the friendly front part of the rim, and it's now an 11-point game, and the Gladiators in the midst of a 6-0 run in about the last minute of play.
Head coach Sean Finnegan's really got to be happy with his boys' first half here.
Ooh, that was nice by Horesco. Jaden Horesco Euro step for about 8 feet of footage or frontage right through the heart of the Gladiator defense. He's got the last 4 points for the Elks.
That was a good move by Horesco as he was able to just kind of blow by his man Ginobili style and get the easy lay-in as we have a foul here, a blocking foul against the Elks.
I mean, one thing I want to point out, Elks between Horesco and Cotterman, 12 points coming off the bench.
That's kind of been the story for the Elks right now, but they're going to need a lot more if they're going to keep up with the Glads. I think the difference here is Sean Finnegan letting his team know that they can settle for that mid-range shot, and it's helping them.
18 seconds remaining here in the second quarter of play. J.P. Miller catches the inbound pass. He's guarded by Brendan Shockley. Miller tries to make a move. Now Ogden catches it on the ricochet, driving in. 8-foot jump shot is good. Nice play made by Ogden. 5 seconds left. Christian Kerfoot with the Elks finds Hilly. Hilly putting it up at the buzzer. No good. That's how we will go to the half. So after 16 minutes in the books, and we are looking forward to halftime. Believe me, we get a chance to catch our breath.
That was fast-paced.
Gladiators with an 11-point advantage after 16 minutes of play here from Traverse City St. Francis High School. This is high school basketball on Next Level Broadcasting. We'll be back with our halftime show here in about 2 minutes.
Lives are a collection of experiences, moments of happiness or times of great loss. First homes, new babies, property loss, even heartache. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Welcome to Hudson's, where we strive to be more than a dealer, and we work hard to pair you with the right equipment.
Whether your land spans thousands of acres or just a small yard, come visit us. At Hudson, we provide the service and expertise to get the job done right. And for a limited time, get 0% for 84 months on select John Deere compact utility tractors. To get a quote, come into your local Hudson or visit us online at hudsony.com.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport, TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
the Northern Michigan showcase between teams all across the state, all divisions, all athletic abilities.
Nausatis all the way to the free throw line. Tried to get it to Hagelstein, but it was stolen. Nausatis gets it right back.
Oh, he's going to
Triple.
pull it.
Got
Oh, huge shot.
it. Hagelstein through the contact. There's a cup guarded by Nausatis, and it's stolen away.
And here we are. Welcome into the Next Level Broadcasting halftime show presented by Green Mitt Luxury Auto Wash in Traverse City. After 2 quarters of play, the Gladiators with an 11-point lead over the Elk Rapids Elks, 35-24. Leading the way so far for the Elks is Keegan Cotterman. He's got 8 points coming off the bench. So far for the Gladiators, it's been Max Ogden. Ogden with 12 points in the first half of play. So Ogden with 12 to lead all scorers, and he started out very, very strong, and then he continued to keep it rolling in the second quarter. He had 4 points in the second, and the rest of his points in the first quarter. And, well, with about 6 minutes left to go here during the halftime intermission, just want to address a couple of things that I've seen so far between these two teams. Elk Rapids, it's really hard for them to go against this set St. Francis defense. Christian and I are going to talk more about that as he is gathering more statistics and info. For the Gladiators, their quality of shot that they've been able to create has been much higher than the Elks' quality of shot. So when you have that opportunity and you're creating that shot quality disparity, it makes it much easier to get makeable shot attempts. And that's something that the Gladiators have been very, very good at, and a large reason why they have an 11-point lead. Now, another reason why the Gladiators have an 11-point lead is because the Elks have been, well, I'm going to be nice and say they haven't been good so far from the free throw line. They have left 5 or 6 points so far at the charity stripe. They're going to have to clean that up in the second half if they want to get back into this game. We saw the Elks last Friday night close out Charlevoix by going to the free throw line and making down free throw after free throw after free throw. As Christian Swinsicki joins me here on the Green Mitt Luxury Auto Spa halftime show. Christian, I was talking about the quality of shot disparity. It seems like the Elks are having to work very hard for everything, whereas the Gladiators can methodically move it around, get some action, get some rhythm offensively, and it seems like they're getting easier shots than the Elks are.
The Elks are playing a style of basketball that, to me, doesn't fit what the team should be doing. The Elks are shooting the three-point shot, and albeit they are hitting some of those shots with Cotterman leading that, and Noah Spencer also with a three-point shot as well. However, St. Francis taking those mid-range shots, taking those open shots. I wonder if that is something that Coach Sean Finnegan emphasizes, that if you're open, be willing to take that shot. And I think the Elks are playing a little bit too much of a lack of defense there, especially when it comes to those mid-range shots, because it seems as though whenever someone like Ogden or Millward or Borer gets to that mid-range area, that there isn't anyone closing out on them, and they're getting exactly what they want. Whereas opposed to the other side of the floor, the Elks, as you said, Charles, are working incredibly hard to get any kind of shot. And then it seems as though whenever they get an open shot, they hurry it. They're shooting themselves in the foot by rushing everything on the floor. And I'm going to assume that maybe head coach of the Elks, Kevin Ball, is letting them know that, hey, you can let the game come to you. Just take some patience. You don't got to hurry everything, but that comes with the pace that both of these teams are playing here in the first half, that high frenetic pace.
I agree with that completely, Christian, as we got about 3 minutes and 20 seconds here left in the halftime show. It's an 11-point lead for the Gladiators at the intermission. And, well, the other thing I wanted to mention, the points off of turnovers. The Gladiators have been living off of those turnovers by the Elks, and the Elks, they've gotten a couple points. Jaden Fresco got an open court steal that he created for himself. But in terms of those turnovers for touchdowns, the Gladiators have been able to get a lot more points off of those turnovers. So as it pertains to that, Christian, I think that the Gladiators are just doing a better job of creating points off of turnovers.
I 100% agree with you, Charles. One thing I also want to keep going, and you mentioned this in early of the second quarter, is that the Glads are playing with, at the time, 11 people off on the roster. You look at the scoring numbers, you can see that 1, 2, 3, at least there's 8 different scorers for the Gladiators. That takes a lot of pressure off of Ogden, who by himself, Ogden is still having a very good scoring output as he's got 13 here in the first half. But Ogden gets a little bit of pressure given off of him by when those bench guys are scoring. Those bench guys being Bohr and Gorman there.
Yeah,
as opposed to the Elks, where they don't really have a go-to guy for their points, and Cotterman has been found money coming off their bench with 8.
Well, I would say one thing: the physicality that the Gladiators have been playing with defensively against Noah Hilly and also Haven Summers, it's been impacting the game so far, and we'll see if they're able to continue with that same type of defensive intensity here. We're going to go ahead and step aside here real quick with about a minute and 20 seconds before we resume action here in the second half of play. This is high school basketball. You're watching Next Level Broadcasting.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
To Culver Meadows, Traverse City's premier family-owned senior living community specializing in dementia care. Here at Culver Meadows, we cultivate the perfect environment for your loved ones by combining our setting, scenery, and social interaction of our residents. We pride ourselves at being an extension of your own family here at Culver Meadows. Call 231-633-9430.
And here we are, welcome in third quarter action, just about underway here from Traverse City St. Francis High School. Elks and Gladiators getting things going. 8 minutes on the clock. Here we go. Harrison Shepard getting things going for the Gladiators. Post touch to Isaiah Millward. He'll try to back down Owen Spencer. Turn around over the right shoulder. No good. Actually, excuse me, the right-handed hook shot, but missed that one. There's a nice baseline shot by Noah Hilly. Ogden controls the board. Christian, the Elks just can't find a rhythm.
No, they're working very hard, and I would like to credit the Glads defense for making them work hard for every shot that they have to have, as Ogden drives to the basket and gets a lot of contact.
A lot of contact inside being allowed by these officials. Ogden was played through the contact. Both teams have been doing that pretty much all night long. Kerfoot shut off on the baseline, flip shot up and in. Man, he utilized that pivot foot to perfection for his 5th point of the contest.
That was good footwork there by Kerfoot. That's something that is teachable, but it's very disciplined.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's something, that skill was learned by him in order to be able to execute on the baseline on a pivot like that. And I believe he was being guarded down there either by Ogden or Shepard as Ogden drives in, had it blocked. Nice help defense by Brendan Shockley. Haven Summers passes it off to Kerfoot. 3-on-2 break for the Elks. Open shot for Noah Hilly. Got it. Elks come out swinging with a 5-0 start to the third quarter, Christian. And that's the answer that the Elks needed.
Hey, you got to start hitting them shots if you're the Elks there, as Noah Hilly finally getting one to go. He's taken a couple of those shots and just hasn't seen one fall in the net.
As Eli Bigger attacked the basket and was fouled on the layup attempt. And that foul is going against Owen Spencer, his second, team's first foul in the third quarter. Eli Bigger now to the free throw line. A little bit too strong on that first free throw attempt. Bigger with 2 points so far in the basketball game here. 6 minutes, 24 seconds remaining to play in the, 6:23 left in the quarter. Bigger with shot 2 is in.
Eli Bigger able to convert on some free throws, something we haven't seen a whole lot of this afternoon.
And that one was deflected out of bounds. Nice job by Harrison Shepard there defensively.
Man, Harrison Shepard, I know we've mentioned it a couple times, but I can't emphasize enough how all over the place on defense he is.
Haven Summers to inbound. Christian Kerfoot with the ball. Hand off to Noah Hilly. Hilly with a step through. Oh, man, everything but goes down. Shepard pushing in transition. Bigger to Bobrowski. Max Ogden dribbles in. 15-foot floater. Oh, man. Ogden got the roll, and Hilly didn't, and it's a 4-point swing.
That's 14 for Ogden. He's having one of those vintage nights that everyone here at St. Francis has become accustomed to this season.
Elks swinging around the perimeter. Little dribble weave action up top. Summers now being guarded. Actually, he'll pass it off to Shockley.
A lot of screen and roll here action for the Elks, but it seems as though whenever they roll, they have to fight through contact once they get to the basket, just like that.
Yeah, Owen Spencer took the little dribble handoff and attacked Isaiah Millward defensively, and he was rewarded for that aggressiveness. And Spencer will go to the free throw line. I will say this, we've seen a lot of contact been allowed to be played through there. That looked like very similar to some of the other shots that we've seen, and Spencer with a gratuitous trip to the free throw line.
One of the things you would like to see, though, when you're going to be having a contact allowed, but you still want to call some fouls, is you want to see some consistency from the referees. So far, there's been some consistency, but I've seen a lot of contact that hasn't been called, and I've seen no contact that's been called. Ogden just loses it.
Yeah, Noah Hilly was able to pick the pocket of Max Ogden, and Hilly's awoken here in the third quarter. He's got 5 points. All 5 of his points here coming in the quarter.
I mean, he's got the last 5 for the Elks. Minus the free throw. The free throw.
Yeah, minus the free throw by Spencer.
Yeah.
5 of the first 6 points for the Elks. We'll go with that. It's a 6-point game now. Gladiators up by a half dozen. Just under 5 minutes to go.
Slow pace here for the Gladiators.
Yeah, trying to make this game back into their tempo. It seems like the Elks have kind of changed the tempo of this game here in the first half of the third quarter.
Well, you're slowing down the pace because the Elks want to play fast right now as Ogden turnover.
You want to let that one go if you're Max Ogden. Brendan Shockley catches it and gets the basket. So, as I say there, he just wants to let that one go out of bounds because he tried to save it right into the hands of the defense. So if he lets that one go out of bounds, it's going to be a dead ball inbound situation for Elk Rapids as opposed to a turnover for a 2-point basket by Shockley.
And this is now a 4-point game here for the Elks here as we hit a timeout for the Gladiators.
I mean, the Elks have stepped on the gas pedal here in the third quarter. They've shrunk this 11-point halftime lead down to 4 points. And for them, they needed to do this immediately in the third quarter with how the second quarter kind of got away from them.
I agree 100% because St. Francis, they want to play at a slower pace. They knew they had a good lead. Sean Finnegan probably were letting the boys know that they wanted to play at a slower pace, control the tempo, don't let Elk Rapids play aggressive and get downhill. However, when you're St. Francis and you're doing that, you can't have turnovers like we just saw from Max Ogden and the rest of the offense. You don't want to have turnovers playing into that fast-paced offense, because even though your guys are committed to that slow pace, Elk Rapids is still ready to play fast, and they're going to play fast when they're on defense as well.
Yeah, I mean, and one thing, so Noah Hilly with 5 points here in the third quarter. He's come out with a different type of attitude and aggression.
They needed someone to do that for the Elks.
And so the Elks they've gotten 4 points off of turnovers here by the Gladiators. Gladiators can clean up their handling of the basketball. That could slow down this momentum for Elk Rapids.
Well, how do you do that other than giving it to Harrison Shepard to start off your next possession?
That's right. You got to get it to the guy that's got clamps on his handle, but it's thrown away, and the Elks get another turnover. That's 3 straight turnovers for the Gladiators. Cotterman into the game for the Elks. He'll take the jump shot, blocked by Isaiah Millward. Nice defensive play by the big man inside.
It was excellent defense that the Glads have been showing. I like that as soon as I talked up Harrison Shepard's ability to keep clean basketball, he immediately turned it over.
Yeah, well, it's the announcer's curse. It's not just for free throws.
Oh, man.
I apologize, Harrison. As
I'm
the
sorry,
Gladiators
Harrison.
working with 4 minutes, or just under 4 minutes. Shepard, Millward, Bobrowski, Bigger, and Ogden. Bigger going to drive inside, tries to hook a pass around, stolen away by Hilly. Hilly 2-on-1, sliding in. He's fouled by Bobrowski. That'll be Bobrowski's 3rd personal foul. And Hilly going to the free throw line for his 6th and 7th points of the contest if he's able to knock him down at the free throw line.
Hillard and Millward and Bigger, they just weren't on the same page there as when they were swinging around the pass to Millward. It seemed as though Bigger launched that in a little hot and Millward wasn't ready for the pass, and that's how that turnover came about. But here we are on the other end. Elk Rapids looking to start sinking some free throws, and maybe, Charles, just like you mentioned last week in Charlevoix, they can start hitting some of these.
Well, here's the guy at the free throw line. And there's the announcer's curse again. It fails to amaze me. It never fails to amaze me how that announcer's curse thing happens.
Yeah, that one's on you.
As I was going to say, Noah Hilly, a very high percentage free throw shooter. Saw him going to the free throw line last week against the Raiders and knocking them down. Into the game for the Elks is Zeke Boldy replacing Haven Summers. No substitutions for the Gladiators. Actually, Luke Gorman has checked in for the Gladiators, replacing Eli Bigger. 2nd free throw, good for Hilly. He's got 6 points in the quarter.
Well, he woke up. One of the starters for the Elks came alive, and now it's a 3-point game. Elks need to get a basket here to stop the bleeding.
Luke Gorman inbound. 2 substitutes checked in for the Elks. Max Ward also in.
3 straight turnovers by the Glads. You want to see them keep it clean because those 3 straight turnovers have led to points for the Elks on the other end.
Yep, it was an 11-point game at halftime, now down to just 3 with the Elks with the stampede here in the third quarter.
Good double screen, but I would like to see Harrison Shepard cut to the basket a little harder when he comes off those screens. He went a little wide and let the Elks get close to him.
Elks switching these pick and rolls that the Gladiators are running. Another turnover. Christian Kerfoot has it for the Elks. Over to Max Ward. Ward to Spencer. Spencer looking to drive, putting the shoulder down. No good. Back out to Kerfoot. Spencer looked at the three-pointer. I thought he was taking that for sure, Christian.
Hey, I would have. If it was anything like the first half, they would have shot that.
Elks with a little bit better shot selection here as Max Ward's driving baseline. Oh, man. Drawing the charge was Max Ogden. Oh, nope, guess who? Number 5, Harrison Shepard.
Hey, he's their defensive anchor, it seems like. Harrison Shepard playing smart defense right now for St. Francis. He's really been a catalyst towards their lead here on the defensive end.
Well, whenever the Glads need a stop, it usually, you can look for jersey number 5. Mm-hmm. It's usually in the play.
Yeah, I agree.
So big time stop for the Gladiators. Elks had been on a heater so far in the third quarter. But the Elks have turned up the defensive tenacity as well, Christian.
Bigger with the mid-range shot, just off the, a little too strong here. Well, that was Ogden, I apologize. I said Bigger, didn't I?
Yep, J.P. Miller has checked in for the Gladiators as well. Another ball handler on the floor for the Glads. Driving baseline, shut off. And turnover by the Gladiators once again. I believe that's their 5th turnover.
In a row.
So Elks with some tremendous defensive tenacity here.
Elks with a chance to tie.
That's right. They're only down by 1 score. Zeke Bolde with an aggressive fall on the baseline, so turnover for the Elks. Gladiators kind of catching a break there.
Hey, Gladiators needed to get some turnovers of their own as Shepard with the double clutch.
No good, but Isaac Kerr able to clean up the loose ends, and he'll go to the free throw line. Good job of being in the right place at the right time by Kerr.
Both teams playing some very stifling defense here. And as we have been mentioning all evening long, these refs are letting them play with a little bit of contact. But we're at the free throw line right now, as it is a little too strong for Isaac Kerr. Substitution here for the Elks as Bargy comes in, number 23. Second free throw attempt here for Kerr is short, off the front iron, rebounded by the Elks as they're going to push it up here.
Yeah, that's a tough opportunity coming up empty. Kerfoot takes the 3, and we got a tie ball game, man. And the Elks have stormed out of here in the third quarter. They were down 11. It's an 11-point advantage for the Elks in this third quarter.
At some point, I believe Sean Finnegan is going to be taking a timeout here if this keeps going the way it is.
Harrison Shepard with the shot to stop the bleeding at the free throw line.
That was
on
much
the elbow.
needed.
Glads needed that one. And a little dribble handoff action once again up top. 55 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Keegan Cotterman with it. Hands off to Zeke Bolde. Elks doing a good job of high hedging and kind of icing that dribble handoff. Bargy has checked into the game as well for the Elks. Big number 23 in black. Max Ward gets the high screen from Bolde, trying to drive. Man, a lot of contact there as Ward attacked the basket. That foul was going against.
That looked like J.P. Miller to me.
Yeah, I mean, you could kind of take your pick on who the foul was on there. A lot of contact.
If the refs didn't call that, then I don't want to see another whistle called for the rest of the game because, Lord, he got mugged down there going to the basket.
You know, if that wasn't on the basketball court, that could have been a 90-day misdemeanor as Max Ward puts one in. And shout out to our buddy and broadcast partner, Dennis Helverson up in Charlevoix. That's one of his favorite lines for a good hard foul.
Oh, man.
Second free throw attempt for Max Ward is good. Did he make the first? I could have sworn he made both, but yeah, all right, he did make both because the scoreboard didn't change here. Our scoreboard operator got it right, but
the reason I was silent, Charles, is because I was going to ask you the same question.
As we've got Max Ogden with it, double teamed by Bolde and Ward, trapped there, and a foul called. That foul will be going against Zeke Bolde, and that is the 5th team foul for the Elks, so that'll put Ogden to the free throw line for the double bonus. So that is an unfortunate foul for the Elks, sending the Gladiators to the free throw line for 2 free throws.
Yeah, it looked as though that the refs and everyone on the floor were not keeping count, but
well, you just got to look up at the scoreboard and they keep count for you.
That's why we have them.
4th team foul.
There we go.
Never mind, they weren't keeping track.
I'm glad there's someone paying attention around here.
Are you?
I got to do some math, Charles.
Okay, you get out your calculator on your phone. I'll keep our audience entertained. 25 seconds left. Michael Board inbound for the Gladiators. Finds Max Ogden in the corner. He's double teamed. Almost stolen away, but Luke Gorman tracks it down. J.P. Miller finds Michael Bohr. Bohr going to drive baseline pocket pass to Isaac Kerr, and it's in. So Isaac Kerr puts the Gladiators back up by a deuce with under 10 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Max Ward, Cotterman with it now. Over to Noah Hilly. Shots up, shots good. Oh, baby, Noah Hilly doing his thing here in the third quarter. He's got 8 in the period, and another buzzer beater for the Elks going into the buzzer.
This is going to be a tight one going into the fourth. I mean, it doesn't get much tighter than this. And wow, we have an exciting fourth quarter coming on us.
We're going to go ahead and take about a minute commercial break, catch our breath, and make you as well. I mean, if you are watching Couch Side tonight, we're going to allow you to catch your breath. And when we come back, fourth quarter action coming up after these messages on high school basketball on Next Level Broadcasting comes back in 1 minute.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
And here we are, fourth quarter just about underway. It was the Noah Hilly show in the third quarter for Elk Rapids. He had 8 points in the quarter. Elks with an 11-point advantage to even it up at 42 after being down 11 at halftime. Christian, how'd they do it?
Turnovers. Gladiators had a lot of turnovers, and Elk Rapids was able to capitalize off them turnovers and able to put themselves into some good scoring here, scoring opportunities for the Elks as they've tied this ball game up.
The turnovers for the Gladiators allowed the Elks to get good shots, and now the Elks have some swagger back as it's 42-42.
These two teams are playing as though they're both 1 and 2 in their division, their conference.
Gladiators showing a little zone look here on the opening possession of the fourth quarter, and a foul called against Isaac Kerr as he was trying to dig down into that trap.
I don't know if I agree with that call there. From all the contact that we've seen her in the first 3 quarters, that's not one that I was expecting them to call right there. That one should have led to a jump ball opportunity between the two.
So whistle going against Kerr and the Gladiators. That was his second foul, Christian?
Yes.
Max Ward driving inside against Kerr. No good. Keegan Cotterman
Great
secures
rebound.
it. Back to Haven Summers, letting a 3 go. No good. Rebound secured by J.P. Miller, and the Glads needed that stop.
Glads need to get some points back on their side as they had just too much bleeding. And another turnover here from the Glads.
Yeah, that was Michael Bohr who kind of
did a travel.
Yeah, he traveled, but it looked like he had a path to the basket, and his eyes kind of got big, and he just forgot to put the ball down.
Happens to the best of us.
Cotterman trying to find an inbounds teammate. He does in Haven Summers. Well, if you wanted a good game of basketball, we are certainly sure to have one here for the next 7 minutes of game time between the Elks and Gladiators. First place on the line in the Lake Michigan Conference here tonight. Max Ward defended by Michael Bohr. Glad's back in a man-to-man look, and Ward all the way. Rebound chased down by Owen Spencer. Big-time offensive board. Hilly shuffles it off to Cotterman. Back out top to Summers. He'll let a 3 go and just missed it. Tough luck miss. Everything but went in.
If he had hit that, I'm not sure the St. Francis student section would have groaned a little bit.
And that Elk Rapids student section would have been making some noise.
You need to see the Gladiators keep it turnover free here.
And Max Ogden, he kept it turnover free there and got a scoop and a foul. That was a nice finish using the right hand on the left side of the backboard. Had to put some spin on there. A little English.
Ogden with 16 here, and he's worked for all 16 of those. Good finger roll off the glass as his free throw attempt is good, making it 17 for Ogden. The old-fashioned three-point play. He's got one on both sides, whether it's a three-point shot or 3 points from the free throw line.
Glads go up by 3 on that three-point play by Max Ogden. Haven Summers finding Owen Spencer. He'll shot flake, put it up and put it in. Nice play by Spencer. And Spencer now with 8 points. First basket by him since the first quarter. Isaac Kerr had it blocked. Foul going against Haven Summers. Keegan Cotterman was there to climb the ladder and got it clean up top. But the foul going against Summers down low.
Yeah, there's been contact, but you got to have a clear landing spot for the shooter, and not giving the shooter any space when he goes up. That's what led to these free throw attempts.
So Isaac Kerr going to the free throw line. He's got 4 points in the game, misses the first of 2 free throws.
You know, it's funny how when the Gladiators start missing these free throws but they're up, it's not a problem. But when the Elks are missing the free throws and they're down, it's a problem. It's funny how we as commentators do that.
Right. Well, the Gladiators missed 2 there, and they're up. And they're only up by 1 because they missed 2 at the line. Max Ogden working against Noah Hilly. And almost stolen. Cotterman does finish the job. And the Elks with another steal.
Since the second quarter, we've seen 9 turnovers from the Glads. I'm curious to think of what Sean Finnegan's thinking about that, and I'm going to assume
I think he's thinking about just trying to hang on to this thing.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to assume it's colorful.
Little empty side ball screen for the Elks. Owen Spencer with an ISO here against Isaac Kerr if he wants it. Summers, hand off to Spencer.
Good switching here from the Glads.
Yeah, they're working this weave action out of the Elks. Cross-court pass to Summers. Cotterman letting it go. Buried it.
Cotterman's came to play today.
Keegan Cotterman with his 3rd triple of the night. And, Christian, I think he's perfect from deep.
He sure is. On my list here, I've got 3 of 3.
And he looked at that thing. He didn't move. His follow-through was butter ever since he let it go. And Noah Hilly and Michael Bohr get tied up on the floor. Jump ball, possession arrow.
Jump ball here for both teams as they're going to go into a timeout here.
Yeah, we got a timeout. We're going to keep it right here and just kind of summarize what's been going on in the second half so far. It was an 11-point St. Francis lead at halftime. We talked in the first half that the Elks were missing free throws, which allowed the Gladiators to build that first half lead. But what allowed the Elks to mount the comeback were the turnovers for the Gladiators in the second half.
That's exactly what I was about to say. That's exactly what I was about to say, Charles, is that even though the Elks were missing those free throws, the Glads were paying it back by turning the ball over that entire third quarter. It seemed as though that entire third quarter the ball was into the possession of the Elks or it was being a turnover by the Glads. If you're Sean Finnegan, you're telling your boys you got to keep the ball clean. You got to have clean basketball and no turnovers because that's what Elk Rapids is thriving off of right now, and that is how they have a 2-point lead.
Well, the 2-point lead for Elk Rapids, it was not an easy one. They had to climb the mountain.
They sure did.
Give them credit because with all the turnovers that they've been forcing, they haven't really had to worry about taking care of the basketball themselves because all the turnovers that have led to very high percentage shots, you don't have to worry about extended possessions, taking good care of it, but the Elks have cleaned up their turnovers as well.
Well, one of the things is that when the Elks are getting these turnovers, they're not slowing the pace down and getting the offense set. They're getting down there frenetically, and they're scoring off those turnovers quickly. So that is another reason as to how they pulled back so fast.
Taking the first good look attempt at the basket and shooting it before you turn it over. That's a good way to be effective against the defense with the type of pressure that St. Francis has in the half court. As this is a monumental possession here for the Gladiators. Michael Bohr driving in, scoop shot, no good. Millward with the offensive board. He's fouled by Owen Spencer, and Millward back in there working hard in the paint.
Yeah, Millward, when he went up, he got hit in the left arm there. At first, I didn't think they were going to call it, but then they called it. Actually, they called this on the floor. It wasn't on the shot. I thought it was a late whistle that was going to get him free throws.
Nice back cut by J.P. Miller. He set that one up all the whole way. Was kind of walking his defender up the court and then slipped it and back cut right to the rim. We got a tie game. Haven Summers, flip shot finish, no good. He hits the deck hard. J.P. Miller. Max Ogden now on the sideline, driving hard, tapped away from behind by Noah Hilly, though. So good defensive possession or play by Noah Hilly to settle the defense for the Elks.
Yeah, that's exactly right, because it was a 4-on-5 fast break with Summers down the floor on the other end. He was still recovering from his layup attempt, but Hilly able to save the Elks from an easy 2-point difference.
You know, an impact player defensively for the Elks has checked back in. Number 14, Jaden Resko, he had an impact in that second quarter. He's guarding Max Ogden right now. Looked like he's face guarding him. So very intense defensive pressure applied by Resko on Ogden. We'll see how the Gladiators try to combat that.
Even though both of these teams are scoring at a high clip right now, there is good defense by both teams right now. And I think both coaches should be happy with the team defense.
We got a 47-47 game. Michael Bohr catches it on the elbow extended. He'll drive baseline against Noah Hilly, and he's fouled. Contact on the elbow as Moore was going up for that shot attempt, and he'll go to the free throw line for a pair.
Listen, I've lost count on the fouls here. I'm not sure if that was Hilly's first.
His third.
Personal fouls was what I was getting at here.
Oh, okay.
I was keeping track of the regular fouls. It was the personal fouls.
And no good on the first free throw attempt for Michael Bohr. Three minutes, 32 seconds left. The student section for Elk Rapids has awoken. Second free throw, no good. Gladiators have missed their last 4 free throws, Christian.
And that's why it's a tie game.
And Noah Hilly now with it, bringing it across the timeline, guarded by Max Ogden. Over to Haven Summers. This is a great game if you're a basketball fan.
Oh, this is fantastic. Between buzzer beaters, tough baskets, physical play, this is exactly what you want.
Cotterman has it stolen away, getting it right back. That's going to be a loose ball foul against Owen Spencer, and that is the 5th team foul against the Elks. So we'll see what the determination is here, if there was possession or a controlled possession by the Gladiators. It will put a Gladiator on the free throw line, as that is the 5th foul against the Elks. But since it's a loose ball foul, we'll see. And it looks like it will send Michael Bohr to the free throw line. So
I believe that was Owen Spencer's 3rd foul.
Yep.
It's not going to become dire right now.
What's that?
It's not going to become dire right now with Owen Spencer's foul troubles, but what is dire is the Gladiators are leaving all of this money at the free throw line.
Yeah, they've missed their last 5 free throws. Michael Bohr on the second of 2 free throw attempts, and he got that one. So Glads go back up by 1, and Bobrowski checking back in for the Gladiators. No substitutions at the scorer's table for the Elks. They're going to roll with their 4 starters and Cotterman. Cotterman has had the hot hand for the Elks here from deep. 3 of 3 from 3. Haven Summers breaks down the D, swung around the perimeter. Spencer has it tied up. Do we have a tie-up or a foul? Looks like a foul is called by the baseline official. That's going to go against Chris Bobrowski. That's his 4th personal foul.
Yeah, Bobrowski's skirting with being fouled out here. But that's what comes with aggressive defense.
He aggressively went for that steal and might have caught a little forearm there as the baseline official flagged him. Haven Summers, timeout taken by the Elks as Summers was in a very precarious situation there, double teamed on the floor with the ball, trying to just scramble for it. 2 minutes, 46 seconds left here. So Elks with 3 timeouts, Gladiators with 3 timeouts here. We got a 1-point game. Christian, we've seen for Elk Rapids, Keegan Cotterman get into a rhythm, but they haven't really run any plays for him directly. If you're setting up this play for the Elks right now at this 30-second timeout or a minute timeout, you're trying to get Cotterman a look here or something going downhill toward the basket?
I'm thinking you're going to give it to the hot hand. Cotterman right now 3 for 3 from 3 and 11 points off the bench. Cotterman has found money for the Elks right now. He's the only person that I would say is probably have a hot of the hand other than Max Ogden, and Max Ogden just has volume shooting right now as Ogden has 17. But Cotterman, an efficient 11 points, is the difference.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting open looks and he's draining open looks. That is important here. As I agree, Charles, you have to draw up a play, I believe, for Cotterman because he is the hot hand.
And we talked about the free throw disparity in the first half. We'll talk about the free throw disparity here in the second half. Gladiators have missed 5 of their last 6 free throws. So they could have a 3-4 point lead, but it's just 1 at the moment. And here we go, 2:44 remaining in the game. Zone look by St. Francis here, coming out smart by the coaching staff. Elk Rapids probably had a man play, and they come out in the zone, the Glads do. 3-pointer by Hilly, and he buried it. He buried it, and Hilly puts the Elks up by 2.
Hilly in this second half has been the other part of found money. I shouldn't say found money because he's a starter, but Hilly not having any points in the first half as we have a tie-up and another jump ball here.
And that will favor the Gladiators. That was a good scenario for the Gladiators to get that held ball arrow, because it looked like Summers was in there scratching and clawing for it. And if that ball goes to the Elks on that possession arrow, you now have to get a stop. But for the Glads right now, I'd anticipate them to try to create some contact to get to the free throw line.
Important note here is when Spencer is checked out for Brendan Shockley.
Inside goes to Ogden, has it tapped away. Brendan Shockley secures the board. Haven Summers, oh man, Noah Hilly in the right place, finds the loose ball and picks it up. 2 minutes to go here from Traverse City St. Francis High School. Elks and Gladiators, 2-point game. Haven Summers spins out of that double team, and with the baseline J, gets it to go, puts the Elks up by 4.
Good little floater by Summers. He almost had the turnover here at half court, but he was able to recover that, get the good feed, drive to the basket, good floater.
Well, he saw the overplay and quickly spun out of it. And then the talent to make that baseline shot. 4-point deficit for the Gladiators. Harrison Shepard putting his head down, driving inside, spins around, blocked by Christian Kerfoot. Gladiators need a stop here. They don't need to foul, but they do need a stop. Cotterman stops, swung around to Noah Hilly. Elks with the last 5 points in this game since the 2-minute 46-second timeout taken by the Elks. Kerfoot now working against J.P. Miller. Double teamed back to Kerfoot. Swung out up top to Shockley. Elks burning some clock. Gladiators with 2 team fouls, so they have a couple fouls to give, and they're going to take it right there. That's J.P. Miller called for the foul. And with only 3 team fouls, the Gladiators still have 1 more foul to give before they can try and extend this game by putting the Elks on the free throw line.
Well, the difference between high school and the next level being college is that there's no shot clock here at the high school level, so playing keep away was pivotal for Elk Rapids, but the Glads have to get the ball out of their hands.
Haven Summers working against Bobrowski. Doubled comes. Noah Hilly has a man open underneath. Cotterman, nice catch. Backdoor cut to Christian Kerfoot, and the Elks execute. Last 7 points to Elk Rapids in the last minute and a half. And Coach Sean Finnegan's going to take a timeout. Christian, what has happened here to the Gladiators since that 48-47 advantage just over a minute ago?
Well, judging by Sean Finnegan's body language there, he isn't happy with the turnovers and the defense from the Glads. The defense of the Glads has been good for the first 3 quarters. This 4th quarter, though, it seems that they're finding holes, the Elks are, and just putting up efficient shots. That's really been the big thing. Taking those things that we were criticizing them for in the first half, not having hurried shots and having sloppy basketball in the first half. Well, the Elks had a completely different half in the second.
For me, I think it's just the ability to execute down the stretch. We
the
saw
short way of saying what I was trying to say.
In the last minute and a half, the Elks on a 7-0 run. We saw a 3-pointer by Hilly. We saw a nice baseline shot by Summers. We saw a nice way to break that trap, and Kerfoot was on the baseline and was rewarded with a nice pass after Cotterman made an athletic catch. So a 7-0 spurt for Elk Rapids has them in a position to come into a second place or a tie for first place in the Lake Michigan Conference.
I'm not sure if you take Cotterman out of this game right now, if Elks Rapids is winning this game. Cotterman has been just key for them winning.
Ogden from the corner, no good, off the side of the backboard. Haven Summers controls the defensive board. He's going to try to dribble through the pressure. He's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. And going back to the free throw line is a place where Haven Summers feels pretty at home, as that will be the 5th foul going against, was it called against J.P. Miller? And that is his 5th personal foul.
That's why you have the ball in his hands at the end of these games, because when you start to get to crunch time and you get to the free throw line on some of these fouls, who else do you want at the free throw line for Oak Rapids?
Standing right in front of us is Brendan Shockley inbounding to Haven Summers. Summers double teamed by Bobrowski, and Ogden He's fouled by Bobrowski, and that's Bobrowski's 5th foul as well. So he will be the second Gladiator foul out in this one. And, you know, I'm so impressed with the Elks being down by 11 points at halftime, on the cusp of coming out of here with a big-time win.
Oh, yeah. Elks are going to, assuming they hold the rest of this lead for the next 27 seconds, it'll be a 4-game win streak for Elk Rapids, as next week for St. Francis, they travel to Charlevoix.
That's a big one for the Gladiators, too.
That'll be on the 30th. As for Elk Rapids, next week they have Harbor Springs at home also on the 30th.
Swung around the perimeter. Michael Bohr has it. Gladiators got to get a shot up quick. Ogden puts it up for 3. Got it. 5-point game as Ogden buries the 3. And he's got 20 points now to bring the Gladiators back to within a handful of points. 12.3 remaining.
Charles, the Gladiators have to foul quickly when Elk Rapids inbounds this ball here. That way you can save as much time on the clock, because now time is not your friend with 12 seconds left to go in regulation. The Gladiators are going to need some more of that from Ogden.
Yeah, and if you're just now joining us, it was an 11-point lead for the Gladiators at halftime. It was tied 42-42 at the end of the 3rd quarter. So in the 4th quarter alone, Elks with 14 points on the board. Gladiators only mustering up 9 points so far. And that's kind of been the difference of the game so far in the 4th quarter. However, in the first half, this game was completely different. It turned on its head in the 3rd quarter when Elk Rapids began applying much more ball pressure, and some of that was self-indicted by the Gladiators.
Tale of 2 halves from the Gladiators.
It certainly has been. Cotterman to inbound, finds Christian Kerfoot. He passes up, stolen away. Michael Bohr has it. Bohr inside, stolen. Oh, man, nice play by Cotterman to get the deflection there. Gladiators had a 4-on-3 opportunity, and Cotterman came out of nowhere to deflect that one out of bounds.
If that pass is made to Ogden just a hair quicker right through the double team, I think they're going to get that basket, but it would have only been for 2.
It would have brought it to a 1-possession game, though, with
right.
The Gladiators with an opportunity to set up another full-court press. Right now, 1 timeout left for St. Francis, 2 timeouts left for Elk Rapids. So ideally, if you are St. Francis in this timeout, if you're able to get a basket here, you take another timeout and then set up your full-court press, because if you don't take the timeout after the ball goes through the net, the Elks can simply just run the last 5 seconds off the clock.
Okay.
So it needs to be above.
Does the clock continues to run while they're inbounding it, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So if it's 5 seconds or less, if the Gladiators score a basket, the Elks can simply just hold the ball on the baseline if and only if the Gladiators don't have any timeouts.
I'm thinking it's going to be 5 seconds or less, because I think we only have 5 seconds left on this clock.
I think there's 5.5. So the Gladiators will have to take a timeout. Because they do have the timeout, they can use that timeout, so the Elks can't utilize that strategy. Here we go. 5-point game, 5 seconds left. Glad's inbounding. Max King has it stolen away by Haven Summers. He's fouled, and that is more than likely going to do it here. The defensive intensity for the Elks has turned this game on its head all second half long. Credit Haven Summers, Noah Hilly, Christian Kerfoot. The guard play for Elk Rapids, I thought, really amped up the pressure on the ball handlers for the Gladiators.
So I know I mentioned Cotterman being the key part for Elk Rapids. The unsung hero, though, Noah Hilly coming in the second half. And Noah Hilly coming in and scoring 11 in the second half. Imagine what this game would have been if he had a scoring output like that in the first half. But Hilly being probably the biggest catalyst for the second half turnaround for the Elks.
As Summers makes it a 6-point game from the free throw line, Michael Bohr with it under 3 seconds. He'll put it up at the buzzer. No good, and that's how this game is going to go down in the books. Elk Rapids climbs the mountain after an 11-point halftime deficit to come out of the gymnasium in downtown Traverse City with a 6-point win and to tie the standings up top between them and the Gladiators in the Lake Michigan Conference with 2 losses apiece. Christian, how did the Elks do it?
That third quarter, that's the biggest turnaround you can have right there, where believe it was 5 or 6 straight turnovers for the Gladiators, along with missed free throw attempts. You can't be having that in the third quarter if you plan on keeping your lead, especially when you have an 11-point lead at the half. That right there was the turning point for Elks and the Gladiators, because after that, the Glads just weren't able to overcome their own hole that they dug.
Yeah, if I were to paraphrase this one in one sentence or less, I would say, on behalf of Elk Rapids, when your opponent is beating themselves, don't interrupt them.
Exactly.
And that's what the Elks did. They continued to turn up that pressure. The Gladiators had those turnover problems and then had some problems at the free throw line as well. And that was a pivotal point in time when the Glads were having trouble at the line, because they were at a neutral game. I believe it was like 47-48 when the Gladiators were at the free throw line, and they went 5 of 6 with 5 misses out of 6 attempts in that stretch. So for the Elks, when the opponent's beating themselves, don't interrupt them.
Well, the Elks were taking everything that the Glads were giving them, and that was literally giving them the ball. The Elks just couldn't, or the Glads they just couldn't keep the ball to themselves. They couldn't keep the ball in their own possession, and that was the turning point right there. Once the Elks realized that, they were getting those easy turnovers and easy transition buckets, along with the Glads' just inefficiency on offense.
So for everyone here in our Next Level Broadcasting production team, Charles Strail, Christian Swinsicki, Austin Mong, Burr, Aubrey, we thank you for tuning into tonight's presentation of high school basketball on Next Level Broadcasting. I want to thank all of our sponsors as well. Hudson John Deere, the Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport, Green Mitt Luxury Auto Car Wash, Chris Hathaway Farm Bureau Insurance. We thank you for making us a part of your Friday night. We hope you enjoyed spending tonight with us. So for everyone here watching, we say good night. We'll be back tomorrow in downtown Traverse City at Center Ice Arena as the Traverse City Bay Reps take on the Traverse City Central Trojans in the 2024 10th Annual Veterans Cup. And the Veterans Cup is something that's very special. If you haven't, you need to watch it tomorrow on the airwaves of Next Level Broadcasting. You can find that online or on YouTube. So once again, Charles Strail saying good night. Have a great rest of your evening, everyone tuning in. See you next time.